I am Kenneth's Canary, flaunting seductive charms in bed, bewitching my master. Off the bed, I act like the rightful wife, often provoking the first love whom my patron desires but cannot have. In others' eyes, I am madly in love with Kenneth, a stand-in destined to be discarded by him sooner or later. In truth, I don't love him at all. I only love his money. Under his banner, my business flourished, and I was on the verge of becoming a rising star in the business world. I decided to dump him first, putting on a hypocritical act of a tortured love story. Kenneth, after 5 years, I still couldn't make you love me. I'm tired. Let's break up. Kenneth's sweat dripped onto me as he looked at me with a smirk. As expected, women change their hearts once they have money. Fine. I'll bankrupt you to help you rediscover your original intentions. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe us to read wonderful novels every day. Now the story begins. Kenneth got up from beside me, putting on his clothes as he said, "She's returning today. Prepare a welcome banquet for her. Her name is Madge, Kenneth's unrequited first love." Bonelessly, I wrapped my arms around Kenneth's waist from behind, my manicured fingers tracing his abs. His body visibly stiffened. Who else? They're all friends from the circle. My eyes rolled playfully as I cooed. Hosting a banquet requires proper jewelry. I've got my eye on a high-quality ice jade bracelet. It's just a tad expensive. About 800,000. Buy it. Delighted, I planted a kiss on his cheek. Kenneth, I love you. Kenneth remained unmoved by my affection, gripping my wrist as he remarked coolly, "With such long nails, my back is covered in scratches from you." I laughed guiltily. "They look nice. Should I cut them? Keep them. They do look nice." Kenneth's eyes darkened as he pulled me onto his lap and kissed me passionately, while greeting guests. I wore a newly purchased jade bracelet on my wrist. I abandoned my seductive bedroom demeanor, smiling gracefully and exuding the dignified air of a virtuous wife. Madge's clique of friends whispered loudly about me. "Madge. That's her. Mr. Kenneth's Canary. Her eyes and brows look just like our Madge. Everyone in the circle knows she's just a stand-in for our Madge. I heard she was just a small-time actress before, riding on Madge's coattails to get where she is today. Madge, don't be sad. Mr. Kenneth loves you." My eyes met with Madge's. She was quite beautiful, clearly the kind of delicate flower nurtured in luxury. Rumor has it that Madge redeemed the penniless Kenneth during high school, but Madge loved the heir apparent, Blake. She married Blake early, and the couple immigrated to the United States. Kenneth was with me as a substitute for Madge. Now, Madge has divorced and returned to the country. Many are waiting to see me, the substitute, being discarded by Kenneth. I raised my glass and gave Madge a friendly nod and smile. She didn't expect this reaction from me and froze in surprise. She was Kenneth's beloved, and I wasn't foolish enough to provoke her. Keeping my distance was the wiser choice. Madge's clique, however, refused to let me off the hook. Suddenly, I was shoved hard and knocked over the champagne tower. I lost my balance and was about to fall into a pile of broken glass. I shielded my precious bracelet and resignedly closed my eyes. The expected pain never came. I was grabbed by the arm and lifted up. Then, I crashed into a solid chest and caught a whiff of familiar men's cologne. Madge, they really pissed me off. No problem. I'll go crazy, taking advantage of the moment. I wrapped my arms around the man's neck and looked at the cannon fodder who had pushed me, saying in a frail and helpless tone, "Kenneth, I'm pregnant." Our child was almost killed by her. The crowd seemed to have been hit with a pause button, stunned and eager for gossip. Kenneth frowned at me, his eyes filled with shock, joy, and emotion, even turning red at the rims. He wore protection every time. How could he possibly believe my nonsense? He wouldn't think I secretly punctured it, would he? You're lying. I didn't push you. I pointed at the surveillance camera above the cannon fodder's head. Should I pull up the footage? Cannon fodder looked at Madge, hoping she would speak up for them. Madge averted her gaze, staying out of it. Cannon fodder panicked. Aren't you fine? I was just joking with you. Kenneth laughed in extreme anger. A joke? Then I'll be joking with you often from now on. Hope you'll still be able to laugh when that time comes. Kenneth is a formidable figure who strikes fear into others, acting with swift decisiveness and never forgetting the slightest grievance. With him saying this, the scapegoat was bound to suffer severely. The scapegoat collapsed to the ground, utterly disheartened, and was driven out by the servants. My original plan was to first take the moral high ground, then go berserk and press the scapegoat's face into broken glass to intimidate her. I never expected the big shot to believe my lie and back me up. I was just about to confess to Kenneth. Madge said, Kenneth, I want to talk to you. Let's talk in the tea room. Kenneth and Madge left together without giving me another glance. Am I sad? Of course not. Over these 5 years, apart from Kenneth's gifts, the stocks and funds I bought following his lead, and the projects I invested in with him have all made me a fortune. Looking at the 8-figure balance in my bank account, I am the sunniest and most cheerful girl in the world. Kenneth is absent, and I feel like a mouse that has fallen into a rice bin. Kenneth's social circle is filled with the wealthy and influential. How could I waste such precious connections? I started my own company, and this welcome banquet is actually my sales pitch. Every guest here is a potential client. I'm so silver-tongued that I closed a $3 million deal over a single meal. Kenneth's best buddy Bruno said. Kenneth is alone in a room with his first love. Aren't you jealous? Let's eat later. I want to invest $5 million in that new project you're holding. What if we lose money? If I lose money, I'll go cry in front of Kenneth and make him compensate me. Bruno laughed. All right. Kenneth is really stuck with you. I've reviewed Bruno's project. It won't lose money. If it weren't for Kenneth's sake, Bruno wouldn't let me invest. My abacus beads clatter loudly. Making money is the happiest thing in the world. But in front of my sugar daddy, I still have to pretend I love him more than money. I stood at the tea house door, peeking around, ready to act jealous. Kenneth saw me and waved, signaling me to come in. From now on, Madge will live in SG Courtyard. Arrange a room for her. She is my distinguished guest. Pay special attention to her food, clothing, and daily necessities. SG Courtyard is a Chinese-style garden mansion. Prestigious families and wealthy clans all emphasize ancestral homes and main residences. The SG Courtyard is Kenneth's South family estate, where he spends most of his time. Suddenly, I felt a pang of bitterness in my heart, as expected of a first love, able to waltz right in the moment they appear. Sigh. I'll just swipe Kenneth's card later and buy myself a bag to cheer up. I smiled with virtuous grace. All right, Kenneth. Kenneth took a sip of tea, his expression indifferent. Go ahead. I took Madge to her room. She initiated the conversation with me. After more than a decade apart, Kenneth has truly become a big shot now. You never saw the 18-year-old Kenneth. He was the only poor student in our elite high school, looking rustic and shabby, with a gloomy personality. He was bullied by Blake and a group of rich kids, even getting his ears beaten deaf. If I hadn't paid for his ear treatment, how could a deaf person have made a comeback to become the current Mr. Kenneth? So she clung to him, exploiting his sense of obligation, freeloading here without contributing. When he was poor, Madge looked down on him. Now that he's successful, she's clinging to him, trying to win him back. We were walking on the bridge. Suddenly, Madge pushed me into the lake. "Help! Someone's fallen into the water," Madge shouted, then jumped in as well. She grabbed my hair, her eyes venomous. "Tell me, can water this cold make you miscarry?" She forced my head underwater. Terrifying memories flooded back. One winter day, my father shoved my head into a water vat covered with icy slush. "I've worked all day, and you couldn't even make a hot meal. What's a girl doing reading books? You're 18 now. Once the bride price is settled, you're getting married off." Madge kept pressing down on me, not letting me breathe. I held my breath to the limit and choked on a mouthful of water. Furious, I struggled to lift my head and punched Madge in the face. I was almost out of strength, dog paddling my way to shore. At this moment, Kenneth and the others arrived, shivering from the cold. I looked at Kenneth. Kenneth took off his coat, crouched down, and wrapped me tightly in it. Huddled in his arms, I pondered how to get back at Madge. In our first encounter, I must show her what I'm capable of. "Kenneth, save me!" Madge flailed in the water, crying for help. Kenneth ordered his subordinates, "Fish her out." Madge, after coming ashore, cried with grievance. She accidentally fell into the water, and I kindly saved her. Once she reached the shore, she punched me in the face, which made me lose strength and drown. Madge, the bruise on her face was glaring evidence. Her clique seized the moment to attack. "Moira, you're so vicious. Our kind-hearted Madge risked her life to save you, and you tried to kill her." Clutching my stomach, I wailed to the heavens. "Kenneth, our child, is gone." The guests gasped in shock. Just moments ago, they had looked at me with disgust and contempt, as if I were some villainous supporting character. Now they gazed at me with sympathy, turning to accuse Madge and her clique. "Shut up already. She just lost a child. Don't provoke her. She must have been terrified. That's why she accidentally hit Madge. You only got punched, but she lost a child. If you're so kind-hearted, then stop hounding her about it." Kenneth scooped me up and strode quickly toward the bedroom. I wrapped my arms around Kenneth's neck and glanced triumphantly at Madge. Madge stood frozen in place, her face filled with resentment and jealousy. In the bathroom, Kenneth pinned me against the tiles. Kenneth could tell I was lying when I confronted the cannon fodder. "Let me go, Kenneth. You didn't take precautions. Didn't you want a child? I'll give you one right now." I turned my head to look in the mirror. Kenneth was kissing my neck urgently and fiercely, my expression a mix of secret pleasure and smugness. 5 years have passed. Whether he's ever had feelings for me, I don't know, but he definitely has a physical attraction to me. I picked up his cigarette case and lit one. He looked up at me. "Focus." I blew smoke in his face with a smile. "Too intense. I need a cigarette to calm down." Then, he went even crazier. "Today, you made a lot of mistakes. Reflect on yourself and confess all your mistakes." Kenneth carried me to the bedroom. I tried hard to think. I shouldn't have lied about being pregnant. Go on. I shouldn't have. Hit your first love. Kenneth gripped the back of my neck. "You have no idea where you went wrong. But it's fine. We have plenty of time." I buried my face in the pillow. "He's been working out like crazy lately and has gotten stronger. I want to run away." Kenneth grabs my ankle and pulls me back to continue. He kisses my swollen lips and wipes away my tears. "You're crying so pitifully. Do you even know what you did wrong?" I couldn't control myself. And suddenly it dawned on me. I shouldn't have protected the bracelet first when I fell. "Yeah," I said with a smile. I knew Kenneth would feel sorry for me. Kenneth stroked my back and asked, "Would you be jealous if I let her stay?" "Of course. I love you so much. I'm dying of jealousy." He sat up, lit a cigarette. his tone and expression both indifferent. "Ha! You don't love me. You only love my money," I retorted shamelessly with full confidence. "How could I be that shallow? I'm also lusting after your body." I took the cigarette from his hand and finished the remaining half. At this moment, the butler came to report that First Love had a fever. "Go to sleep. I'll go check on her." The man turned heartless the moment he got out of bed. To be honest, I felt a little hurt. Just a tiny bit. I buried myself under the covers and slept like a log. Waking up the next morning, I saw Kenneth standing on the balcony smoking. I don't know when he came back. Kenneth carries a profound sense of loneliness. After 5 years together, he remains an enigma I can't decipher. He's rich, handsome, has a great body, and is good in bed. He's generous to me, provided resources for me to start a business, and even taught me many things hands-on. He's truly a charming man. Seeing that I was awake, he slid the door open and came in. "Come over and hug me." His body was cold, carrying the chill of the night. The atmosphere was so perfect. I couldn't help but ask the thing that bothered me the most. "Am I Madge's substitute?" "Guess. I don't think so." I flattered him. Using a substitute is the behavior of a despicable scumbag. "Kenneth, you're noble and above such things." Kenneth was amused by me and kissed my forehead. You're not a substitute. Then who are you to me?" I proudly straightened my back and declared, "I am Kenneth's most beloved Canary." I was fooling around. But he didn't laugh. He frowned and asked, "Don't you have anything to say to me about the drowning incident?" I deeply understand the lethality of first love. Therefore, without evidence, making baseless accusations about first love would not only fail to convince him but also make him resent me. "Not for now." Kenneth's warmth vanished from his eyes, replaced by an expression that seemed like he wanted to strangle me. Sure enough, hurting his beloved made him unhappy. I decided to play along first, brushing my bangs aside with a coquettish look. "Kenneth, I'll give you an explanation about this matter later. Please calm down. Madge messed with the wrong one. If I don't kick her out of SG Courtyard, I'm a dog. Whatever you say." Kenneth turned and left with a flick of his sleeve. My stomach hurts, and I'm grimacing while pressing on it, already planning how to deal with Madge. Kenneth returned shortly with stomach medicine and a bowl of millet porridge. My stomach problems stem from childhood hunger. Over these 5 years, living a pampered life by Kenneth's side, I've rarely suffered from stomach aches. I've been holding it in all this time. How did he notice my stomach trouble acting up? "Take your medicine, then drink the porridge." "Okay." Touched. I sniffled and grabbed his belt. "Kenneth, I don't care what past you have with her. My bottom line is, you can only sleep with me. If I find out you're not upholding male virtue, I'll leave you." Being a canary shouldn't mean constantly pleasing the patron. Showing a strong side at the right moment makes one more charming. He looked at me for a long time, his eyes shining brightly. "Okay. Got it all under control. Kenneth has gone to the company. I caught a few non-venomous snakes and stuffed them under Madge's bed. While Madge was taking her afternoon nap, I squatted by her doorway cracking melon seeds. Ah! Madge's screams echoed through SG Courtyard. I entered her room. A flower-patterned snake was coiling tightly around Madge's calf, flicking its tongue. Other snakes were writhing on her blanket. She was terrified of snakes, breaking down in helpless panic and crying out, "Get these snakes away from me. Moira, I shouldn't have pushed you into the lake. I know I was wrong. Please take these snakes away." I took out my phone. "Say that again. I'm recording this." Madge was crying uncontrollably, her body stiff, as she repeated the words. I opened the burlap sack and swiftly collected the snakes one by one. "What's all the fuss about?" Madge, is this the protagonist's halo at work? Kenneth actually came home at this hour. Madge, upon seeing him, she ran towards him barefoot, dressed in a silk nightgown with her long hair flowing. The scene was quite picturesque. Kenneth dodged her embrace. Madge missed her target and nearly face-planted. I quietly hid the sack behind my back. Who would have thought these snakes had such sharp teeth? They gnawed through the sack and escaped. A snake darted up and bit my arm. Kenneth rushed over, grabbed the snake by its vital spot, and slammed it heavily onto the ground. The snake was killed by the impact. Butler, prepare the car. The snake isn't venomous. Shut up. Even if it's not venomous. We're going to the hospital to have a doctor check your brain. Humph. His first love is fine. So why is he so angry? Seriously. I continued stirring up trouble by playing the recording. Kenneth. You heard it. She pushed me by the lake. Madge reacted swiftly, pleading with grievance. I'm terrified of snakes. She used them to force a confession. None of what was said in the recording is true. Enough. Kenneth's face darkened as he ordered the snakes removed, then grabbed my arm. Is this the explanation you give me? After 5 years by my side, how have you not grown a brain? I shook off his hand. I don't like the word follow. Don't act superior to me. Suddenly, I felt it was quite meaningless. Now that I'm so wealthy, people outside would call me MS. Moira. Why should I compete with another woman for a man? Dumped Kenneth. I can afford to keep 8 male models. I fake cried, acting out a tragic love story. Kenneth. Even after 5 years I couldn't make you love me. Now that your first love is back, I won't stand in your way. I'm tired. Let's break up. Kenneth's expression turned terrifying. He raised his hand. I thought he was going to hit me, so I covered my head with my hands. He lifted me onto his shoulder and strode out with long steps. Back in the bedroom, Kenneth threw me onto the bed. Hey, hey, hey. Don't tear my clothes. My new Hermes dress. Kenneth's sweat dripped onto me as he looked at me with a smirk. As expected, women change their hearts once they have money. Fine. I'll bankrupt you to help you rediscover your original intentions. I'm really panicking. You can deceive my feelings, but don't block my path to wealth. Kenneth. I got carried away just now. Please don't take it seriously with me. I can bend without breaking. Smiling at him with curved eyes. Kenneth. I still love you. I can't live without you. Kenneth smiled handsomely, yet eerily. Remember, if I don't let you go, you're going nowhere. Moira, you made 2 mistakes today. First, letting the snake bite you. Second, breaking up with me. How should I punish you? Kenneth's fingers ran through my hair, touching the long scar on the back of my head. His eyes filled with heartache as he sighed helplessly. Forget it. I'm no superior here. You're the little ancestor in my life. This time, he treated me with unusual tenderness. Kenneth takes care of his divorced first love, yet refuses to break up with me. What on earth is he thinking? In the heat of passion, I bit Kenneth's shoulder hard and wiped the sweat from his chin. He's so sexy. I fell asleep, weary yet satiated. When I awoke, the snake bite had already been treated. With nothing better to do, I went to Madge to annoy her. Putting on the airs of a scheming concubine from a palace drama, I happened to see a servant bringing her meal, and I glanced at the food. What kind of status does she have to eat the same bird's nest as me? Take it away, Madge said angrily. Moira, do you really think you're the mistress of SG Courtyard? I gave the servant a meaningful look. The servant said arrogantly, all expenses in SG Courtyard are decided by Miss Kitty. You eat whatever Miss Kitty allows you to eat. I grabbed Madge by the hair. If I'm really pregnant, you've actually killed one of my children. You'd better sleep with one eye open at night. There might still be snakes lurking in the corners that weren't caught. Madge looked terrified. Moira, your gloating won't last long. 2 more days passed. Madge made another move, exposing a secret I had hidden for years. Madge held a party at SG Courtyard, inviting everyone she could. I was reading in my room when she came to find me. MS. Moira, I'm hosting a party at SG Courtyard. You simply must come and show your support. Otherwise, people might think I'm the lady of the manor. Great. No matter what mischief she's brewing in her mind. A top sales performer never complains about the environment. I made a stunning entrance, wearing a backless halter dress, sporting the trendiest makeup, and adorned with jewelry, exuding charm and allure. Kenneth was playing mahjong with a few good buddies. Madge sat beside Kenneth, peeling a grape and feeding it to his lips. Come here. Kenneth didn't eat the grape and called me over. Seeing no place to sit, I directly sat on his lap. Kenneth, take a break. Let me take over. Bruno teased. We're playing big. Who takes the blame if we lose? Kenneth lazily leaned back in his chair and said with a smile, if we win, it's hers. If we lose, it's on me. I confidently said, it's a guaranteed win. I won. I leaned back happily. I'll split the winnings with you. Kenneth smiled adoringly. Yeah, his buddies teased. We're stuffed. Just ate a ton of dog food. 5 years in. And you two are still glued together. Might as well get married already. Getting married is so boring. I changed the subject. Come on, let's keep playing cards. I'm on a winning streak. The atmosphere suddenly turned cold, and no one spoke. Just then, Madge answered a phone call and gave me a mischievous smile. Let them in. Moira, daughter-in-law, wife. 3 people came in. My dad, Jack, Jason's father and son. Madge's clique gloated with schadenfreude. Who would have thought? Moira is actually a married woman. Look at her husband. So ugly and a complete fool. They dress like beggars. A bunch of paupers. No wonder Moira abandoned her husband. Could she have had children too? I didn't turn to see Kenneth's expression. I lied to him, telling him that both my parents were dead. Madge is really impressive, managing to gather all these people together. I was born in a remote mountain village. On my 18th birthday, my father, Jack, took $40,000 and sold me to Jason's father and son. Jason pinched my face as if handling goods. $40,000 is too expensive. We're from the same village. Give me a discount. Our Moira is fresh and pretty. Every bachelor in the village wants to marry her. Plus, she's smart and well-read. She'll bear your Jason family a clever son. Jason was very pleased with me and reluctantly handed over the money. Jack took the money and growled, You stay put at the Jason family's place. From now on, you're the Jason family's woman. That night, Jason locked me and Sam in the room. Sam took off his clothes and stood naked in front of me with a lewd expression. Take off your pants. Then we can have a son. I grabbed him and squeezed hard. Sam screamed in pain. I said coldly, Don't touch me, or I'll cripple you. I won't touch you. Just let me go. Ow. It hurts so much. Sam was snoring loudly in his sleep. I hugged myself tightly on the bed, too scared to sleep. Suddenly, Jason burst through the door and, seeing the task unfinished, flew into a rage. I spent $40,000 to marry you, just so you could bear a son for our family. Jason started tearing at my clothes. Sam might be a fool, but I'm not. I want to watch you two in bed together. Seeing my fair shoulders, his beastly instincts surged. Sam won't do, but I will. Moira, you're so beautiful. Let Uncle cherish you. I smiled sweetly at him. Uncle. Not here. Let's go to your room. Good. 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 The moment we stepped outside, I knocked him unconscious with a flower pot. I found Jason with $2,000 in his room. I had always kept the household register and ID card close to me. Grabbing some supplies, I headed straight for the mountains without looking back. After walking for nearly an hour, I heard the sound of a car. Jason woke up and rallied the villagers to catch me. I was in a hurry and accidentally fell into a deep pit while running, hitting the back of my head on a rock. Instantly, blood began to spread. I was dazed from the fall, my limbs numb. The sound clearly came from here just now. Was it an animal? Jack, your daughter ran away. Give me back the 40 grand. She even stole 2,000 from me. Mountains everywhere. Where could she possibly go alone? I'll definitely catch her for you. I'm so tired. In so much pain. If I make a sound now and go back with them, at least I'll survive. Right. After going back, I'll be Jason's family abused by both father and son, turned into a breeding tool, slaving away for them. Then my life would be over. I'd rather die. I covered my mouth, making no sound, listening as the voices of the crowd grew fainter. In the desolate wilderness, trapped in a desperate situation, I peacefully closed my eyes. Suddenly, my stomach growled. No. I haven't enjoyed any happiness in this life. I can't just die quietly like this. I jolted up from my deathbed, tore my clothes into strips with a knife to bandage my wounds, and wrapped myself tightly in a blanket. I took out a steamed bun and ate it with my tears. Happy birthday, my dear. You're an adult now. You must make something of yourself in the future. Ever since I was little, whenever I felt sad, I would comfort myself, calling myself, baby. From now on, I won't just chew on cold steamed buns for my birthday. I'm going to eat braised pork. I stayed in the pit for 3 days until I regained my strength, climbed out, and continued on my way. I left the mountains, left the small town, and eventually made my way to the capital. I've worked as a restaurant server, hotel front desk clerk, clothing salesperson, and even ran an online store. After earning some money, I first bought an apartment in a nearby city, settled down as an urban resident, and even changed my name. Later, I participated in a talent show, got an opportunity, and became an actor. At a dinner party, I met Kenneth, and I took the initiative to show interest. It went quite smoothly to win him over, but I believe that with my abilities, even without Kenneth helping me, I can still make a fortune. This year, at 28, I've made a comeback and become a wealthy woman. Seeing the three of them again feels like a lifetime has passed. I stood up, quietly watching them perform. Fearless. Jack rushed over but was stopped by the servants. The look he gave me was full of greed. Don't think that just because you changed your name, you can cut ties with me. He sat on the ground, acting shamelessly. Everyone, come and judge for yourselves. I worked hard to raise her, and now that she's come to the big city and latched onto a rich man, living the high life, she's abandoned her poor old father and refuses to support me in my old age. Madge gave Jason a meaningful look. Jason immediately shouted loudly, Moira, you are the daughter-in-law of our old Jason family. The money you've earned over the years is marital property, and you must give us half. Bruno asked, do you have a marriage certificate? She was only 18 when she married, so they couldn't get one. Bruno laughed. You have no proof. What kind of place do you think this is? Coming here randomly to claim family ties. Jason hurled insults and threw dirt at me. Kitty Moira is nothing but a common whore. She's been selling herself in our village since she was a child, and now she's come to the capital to keep peddling her flesh. You big shots are blind. falling for such a lowly. I was looking for a handy weapon. When dealing with scoundrels, actions speak louder than words. I picked up a brick from the flower bed and weighed it in my hand. Perfect. Bang. The previously silent Kenneth suddenly rushed forward and punched Jason in the face. I had never seen this side of Kenneth before. His entire body radiating hostility. His eyes like those of a desperate man. He grabbed Jason by the collar, punching him repeatedly in the face as blood splattered. "Ah! Stop hitting me! Please! Sir! Spare my life! Help! He's going to beat me to death!" Everyone was frightened by Kenneth. Kenneth kicked Jason and sent him flying. Jason clutched his stomach and spat out a mouthful of blood. Kenneth walked up to Jack, grabbed his hair, and slammed his head hard onto the marble floor. Bang! 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 Instantly, Jack's head was covered in blood. "You dare hit me? I'm your father-in-law. You've got the wrong person. Her name is Moira. She's the renowned Miss Moira of the capital. A woman so far above your station you'll never reach her in this lifetime." Kenneth punched Jack in the face, knocking out 2 of his front teeth. Jack cried out, "Mary, you're the one who asked us to come. He's going to beat me to death. Save me." Madge teared up and said resentfully, "Kenneth, you can investigate. Everything they said is true. She's materialistic, vain, and full of lies. I don't understand. What exactly is it that I lack compared to her? Have you forgotten that it was I who saved you back then? Without my money for your surgery, you'd still be deaf. If I hadn't stopped Blake from bullying you, you wouldn't have survived." Kenneth ignored Madge and cast a cold glance at Sam. Sam was so scared he wet himself. "She's not my wife. Don't hit me. Don't hit me." Kenneth couldn't be bothered to beat up a fool and had his men drag the 3 out. Kenneth lit a cigarette and said with a smile, "All right, folks. The party's over. Time to disperse. Today's incident was just some troublemakers causing a scene. I trust none of you will gossip about it." "Yes. Yes. Of course." The crowd dispersed. Kenneth reached out to me, calling softly, "Come here." Madge's deceitful scheme did not succeed. Kenneth not only didn't blame me for deceiving him but also protected me. I'm the type to push my luck. So I immediately dropped the brick, walked over, and tightly hugged Kenneth's waist, putting on my usual "I'm so fragile" act. "Kenneth, I'm scared." Madge gritted her teeth in frustration beside them. Kenneth kissed the top of my head. "Don't be afraid. You have me now. I won't let them hurt you again." He had known about my origins all along. Indeed, Madge could find out. And there's no way he couldn't. As cautious as he is, he probably had me thoroughly investigated from the moment we first met. That night, I was burning with passion. Kenneth traced his fingers along my back, his lips pressed against mine, his breath scorching. Learned from a movie. I love studying. He suddenly became very fierce. "This kind of thing. I should be the one to teach you." Kenneth is 187 centimeters tall, with broad shoulders, a narrow waist, and long legs, creating a noticeable size difference between us. If we were to compare ourselves to animals, he's like a lion, while I'm a little fox. He effortlessly pulled me into his embrace. Locking eyes, Kenneth suddenly said, "I've been waiting all along." "Waiting for what?" "Wait until you open your heart to me. Trust me, depend on me, and fall in love with me." I froze. "This is an additional cost." He caressed my face, his beautiful eyes no longer cold but overflowing with affection. "Because I've already done it. It's only fair that you do the same," the big shot confessed. "Kenneth, how did you escalate our relationship mode from posting directly to the pure love zone?" He didn't laugh, his expression serious. I scratched my cheek and stammered. Then wait another 50 years. If you still love me by then, I'll love you too. Kenneth smiled. All right. This is our lifelong promise. I turned my back to him and laughed. A dark and damp basement. Jack chopped potatoes as water bubbled noisily in the pot. Grumbling. Living expenses in the capital are outrageous. This damn basement alone costs $150 a day. That bitch won't pick up her phone. She's already cut us off. Jason sighed heavily. What can we do? Your daughter's got money and power now. Plus her man's protecting her. We can't even get close. Came all the way to the capital and got nothing but a beating. I refuse to go back empty-handed. Jack spat in disgust. I can't go back empty-handed with all these gambling debts on my back. Kenneth walked into the basement. The three men trembled in fear at the sight of him. Kenneth's assistant placed a leather suitcase on the bed, and when opened, it was filled to the brim with $100 bills. Jack and Jason swallowed hard, their faces revealing greedy expressions. There's $600,000 in here, which I'm paying as medical expenses for the three of you. You won't get another cent beyond this. Take the money and get lost. Kenneth left. Jason picked up 2 bundles of cash and sniffed them. With me and Sam, we split $400,000. Why? This is medical compensation. Sam didn't get beaten. He can't take a share, Jack said, and immediately tried to grab the money. Jason pushed him away, his eyes blazing with fury. I'm more injured. I deserve the bigger share. Jack's eyes turned red. This was $600,000. More money than he could earn in a lifetime. Jack spotted the kitchen knife on the table, determined to keep all $600,000 for himself. He lunged forward, grabbed the knife, and slashed it across Jason's neck. Jason collapsed to the ground, dead on the spot. Jack was about to kill Sam. Sam picked up a pot of boiling water and threw it at Jack. Jack dropped the knife in his hand, screaming in pain with his eyes closed. The next second, he was hacked to death by the frenzied Sam, who was wildly swinging a kitchen knife. Kenneth sat in the car, hearing the sound of police sirens, and said to the driver, "Drive." I learned that Jack and Jason killed each other over $600,000. Sam was taken away by the police, and I felt little emotion. They died by their own greed. They can blame no one else. I went to Kenneth's company to have lunch with him. Entering his office, he signaled to me that he was in a video conference with colleagues from the United States. I crawled under the spacious desk. Kenneth was speaking but suddenly stopped. "Boss, is there a problem?" Kenneth curled his lips upward. "No problem. Carry on." Kenneth ended the video conference. I pouted and said, "Next time, you have to serve me like this too." "I'd be delighted." My face turned bright red. I'm openly flirtatious, while he's secretly so. We were just about to go eat. Kenneth answered a phone call and said to me, "Sorry, there's an issue in Hong Kong that I need to fly over immediately to handle." "Go ahead. Work hard to earn money to support me." He smiled and kissed my forehead. "Indeed, your spending power is my motivation to earn money." This is what I love most about him. He never complains about how much I spend, only focuses on earning more to make up for it. In the afternoon, a client scheduled a meeting with me. As I entered the conference room, I saw Blake. I immediately turned cold and was about to walk away. Suddenly, the projector started playing a video. The young man in the video is the 18-year-old Kenneth. Back then, although he was tall, he was very thin, the kind who looked like a well-behaved, good student at first glance. Blake led a group of rich kids to bully him. They cut his hair, stuffed it into a water cup, and forced him to drink it. They made him take off his shirt and shot him with toy guns, leaving his body covered in bruises from the steel pellets. Blake laughed arrogantly. Top student. Look at the camera. Next shot. Can I hit your eye? I clenched my fists, nails digging into my palms, my heart aching as if cut by a knife. These bastards. The boy Kenneth raised his head, though he was looking at the camera. I felt as if we were gazing at each other across time and space. His gaze was brave and unyielding, shining like the stars. Blake sat in the boss's chair, his tone full of boastfulness. No matter how we tortured him, he wasn't afraid at all, which really annoyed me. So, I had to target the person he cares about most. Blake played another video. The person in the video was Kenneth's grandfather. Every year, I accompany Kenneth to visit his grandfather's grave. Kenneth relied on his grandfather for survival, as his grandfather supported him by selling scrap. In the video, Blake and the others tampered with his grandfather's electric tricycle. After selling the scrap, the grandfather rode the tricycle home. The engine suddenly caught fire, but Grandpa didn't notice. Blake sat in the sports car, laughing and saying, "Old man, your car is on fire." Ha 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 ha. Grandpa immediately stopped the car, lifted the seat, and desperately tried to retrieve the money stored underneath despite the flames. The fire was too intense. Grandpa's money had long since turned to ashes. Grandpa stood there helplessly, his hands burned and mangled, saying with guilt and anxiety, "What should I do? This was money I saved for so long to buy a pair of sneakers." Grandpa wasn't in good health and had been coughing constantly. The old man's expression broke my heart. Blake shrugged and said, "The poor value money more than their lives." The old man fell ill as soon as he got home and passed away not long after. Blake played the third video again. In the video, Kenneth returned home after handling his grandfather's funeral arrangements. Blake and the others had already been waiting for him at his house. Blake showed the second video to Kenneth. "If it weren't for wanting to buy you shoes so badly, your grandfather wouldn't have worked himself to death. So, it's you who killed him." Kenneth stared at the video, trembling all over, tears streaming down his face. Suddenly, he lunged at Blake like a madman, biting Blake's ear. "Ah!" Kenneth spat out Blake's half-bitten ear, his mouth full of blood. Blake screamed in agony, shouting, "What are you all standing around for? Beat him up." The bullying gang's boys started punching and kicking Kenneth. The boy holding the DV camera placed it on the table and joined them. Blake snatched the baseball bat from his lackey and swung it at Kenneth's head. Kenneth collapsed in a pool of blood, his ear bleeding. Blake hurried off to tend to the ear injury. Before leaving, he commanded, "Keep hitting him, as long as you don't kill him. Cripple or maim him all you want. I'll take care of the consequences." The third video finally ended. I feel like I've watched a long horror movie. Blake's ear has healed, and now it's hardly noticeable that it was bitten off. These are precious images, documenting our wonderful.
Right now, the pitiful image of him in his youth lingers in my mind. It makes my heart ache, and I want to protect him. Why are you looking at me with those pitying puppy dog eyes? Blake told you something. He showed me the video from your high school days when they bullied you. His eyes were red at the corners, his body trembling slightly as he asked with a smile, "Pity me. My heart aches for you. But more than that, I admire you. Kenneth, you're truly, truly remarkable." I stroked his back, wanting to soothe his scarred soul. We spoke almost in unison. "If only I could have protected you when you were 18. I stared at him blankly. He said, "You're amazing too, baby." It's Kenneth and I who truly saved each other. I leaned in close to him, about to kiss him. Kenneth suddenly stood up and strode out with purpose. I lunged forward but missed, face planting into the couch. "Hey, hey, hey. We just finally connected. Where are you going?" I muttered under my breath. Got all worked up from that little video. I chased after them, Kenneth went to Madge's place in the middle of the night. I've run out of patience. Hand over Blake's evidence of guilt. Madge said nervously. The evidence is with my trusted aide. I haven't been able to reach her. Then move out of SG court. Madge panicked. Kenneth. After I leave, Blake will imprison me. He'll beat me to death. You promised to protect me. Why are you going back on your word? Madge shot a glare at me. I crossed my arms and gave her a fake smile. It's because of her. Kenneth. Why are you just like Blake? Both of you changed your hearts. If it weren't for me paying for your ear treatment back then. You. Kenneth interrupted her. First, I am grateful to you. But I have never loved you. You are not the first love I couldn't have. Second, even if I were deaf, I would still climb up from the bottom, because I must take revenge on Blake. Third, whatever little gratitude remained from the past has been almost entirely worn away the moment you pushed her into the water. Did I make myself clear enough? Madge collapsed onto the chair in despair, tears streaming down her face. The evidence is in the bank safe. The code is. Kenneth obtained the information he wanted and turned to leave without hesitation. He stopped in front of me. I smiled. Go. Go and complete your final revenge. Kenneth pressed the back of my neck and kissed me. After a long while, he finally let go of me and left the house. Madge covered her face, crying heartbrokenly. At 18, Blake loved me as if his life depended on it. When we encountered a car accident, he could throw himself at me without hesitation. This was the man who was willing to die for me. Yet after marriage, he cheated on me time and again. During our fights, he would drag me in front of the mirror and say with disdain that I had grown old. I returned to the capital with my bargaining chips, thinking I could reconcile with Kenneth. But in the end, it was all for nothing. I married the wrong person. I'm 34 this year. My life is already over. How could that be? I said nonchalantly. As long as you're not dead, life isn't over. If you want money, go earn it. If you crave delicious food, go eat it. If you desire handsome men, go sleep with them. Life. Easy as pie. Madge looked up at me in a daze, then suddenly smiled. Now I finally understand why someone like Kenneth would fall for you. She wiped away her tears and reached out to me. I'm sorry about what happened before. Let's start over. I'm Madge, about to begin a new life. I slapped her hand away and said proudly, TCH. I don't even want to know you. TCH. You don't know what's good for you. I retorted indignantly. TCH. You're putting on airs. The ultimate black-hearted lotus. TCH. You're so affected. The ultimate green tea bee asterisk TCH. Me. Pa. She. Pft. Me. Pft pft. I'm no saint. I won't forgive her. And I'll keep on disliking her. Madge has evidence that could make Blake rot in jail both in the U.S. and back home. That's why he chased all the way to the capital. Blake was imprisoned that day. Madge left the SG courtyard. I woke up early to find the imperial green jade bracelet worth millions on my wrist. I knew this bracelet had been auctioned off, but I never expected the buyer to be Kenneth. Kenneth is getting dressed. I bonelessly hugged him from behind, grinning from ear to ear. Kenneth. It's too expensive. High ice jade bracelets are too common. An imperial green jade bracelet suits you better. I happily planted a kiss on his cheek. Kenneth. I love you. He looked at me for a long time. They look nice. Should I cut them? 10. Rolled around, wagging its tail, asking the lion to rub its belly. Kenneth understood my sincerity, smiled brightly, and kissed my lips. Everyone laughed at me back then, but I turned out to be the most successful one. Who in the capital doesn't know that Kenneth's Canary has made it big? The company I founded grew strong and prosperous, and I transformed from an obscure struggling actor into a rising star in the business world. Kenneth's birthday banquet. A close friend asked him, Kenneth, you've been together for years. Haven't you thought of giving her proper status? Kenneth said with amusement, it's not that I won't give her status. It's that she refuses to give me status. She's wealthy, beautiful, and charming. Men are lining up to be her side piece. Do you have any idea how hard I work to maintain this figure? Bruno twitched his lips. Kenneth. You're the most marriage-desperate CEO I've ever met. I burst out laughing. Everyone looks at me. I look at Kenneth and joyfully walk towards him, holding the engagement ring I reserved 6 months in advance. I'm not afraid of marrying the wrong person. At the same time, I believe he is the right one. All my bad luck was used up in reincarnation. After my 18th birthday, every day has been my lucky time. The end.